Finance Minister Tito Mboweni says the state may have to adjust its borrowing plans to save Eskom. He introduced a Special Appropriations Bill in Parliament to advance a further 59 billion rand to the power utility over the next 2 years. That's in addition to the 23 billion rand bailout already granted. Lindsay Dentlinger is following this story for us. She joins us now live. So, more money for Eskom. What does this mean for the fiscus?
Shahan, it's a huge problem for the fiscus. The finance minister saying it's going to plunge South Africa into a serious financial crisis. It's put the debt to GDP ratio at unsustainable levels. And as you've said there, it's probably going to mean that Treasury will have to look at how much more money it's going to have to borrow to bail Eskom out of this crisis. But the finance minister saying, it remains the entity remains the country's biggest financial risk. It's more than 400 billion rand in the red, and so it's left little choice but to help it out and to remain a going concern, because importantly for Eskom to remain financially sustainable, it's got to borrow its own money, and to do so it's got to be a going concern. So Finance Minister Tito Mboweni telling Parliament that if it doesn't bail out the power utility, it won't be able to borrow more money, and we shouldn't forget that it received about 17 billion rand just 2 months ago, over and above this proposal that the minister has tabled. But let's listen to his explanation and to defend that bill that he put before Parliament today.
Fiscal support we are announcing today will come at a significant cost to the fiscus and to South African taxpayers. In addition to the financial support to Eskom, there is also a preliminary indication that tax revenue could be significantly lower than budgeted for in the 2019-2020 budget. This could substantially increase the government's borrowing requirement for 2019-2020, which will require government to revise its funding strategy and current weekly bond issuance at levels beyond what we had planned.
Lastly, very quickly, Lindsay, give us a condition set out for this bailout and tell us about the process going forward.
That's just it, Shahan. The minister did not set the conditions. The bill that he put before Parliament specifically says that he doesn't just have to hand this money over to Eskom. He can impose conditions before that money is transferred. He can also impose conditions after the money is transferred. And any money that's not properly spent, he can call that money back. And that was a problem for the opposition parties today. They wanted to hear the minister say exactly what conditions he was putting to Eskom before he transfers this money, but for now we don't know what that is. The only thing the minister is saying is that chief restructuring officer will be appointed before the end of today to help turn around Eskom and to improve its financial strategy.
All right, we'll leave it right there. Our reporter Lindsay Dentlinger is in Cape Town.